If you deeply look into your life is nothing but a bridge between two unknown points. First point is birth. You do not know the secret of birth. Why? First of all, you are born. Anything is under your control or any reason for what? Your birth has happened. No idea. You have no clarity. So the first beginning of your life, birth, is unknown. The next end, the death, naturally, it's unknown. We do not know when we are going to die or what is going to happen after death. Neither birth nor death is known. Our life is a big bridge between two unknown points. Where you start, where you end, you do not know, but travel happens. Why? Why the whole life happens between two unknown points? Because you play with pseudo identities. You continuously live with pseudo identities. You never question your being. You never ask yourself, who am I really for myself? Who am I for myself? If somebody asks who you are, you have enough of answers. But if you ask yourself, who am I? You have no answer. You have no answer. We continuously think. We try to move from one thought to the other thought, from one bridge to the other bridge, from one unknown from another unknown. But we never think, we never try to work towards knowing something solidly. Any question, anybody who asks Ramana Maharshi, any question, immediately will ask the questioner who is asking the question. He will just turn down. Ask yourself, who is asking this question? All the question ends. We all know about every other person, but we do not know about our own deep being because we do not know about ourselves. Many times you can see, you think you have a desire to acquire a new car. You start working for it. You intensely work, make money, save it. You get a car also. But suddenly you see there is no excitement in the car. Once it is there as your own, there is no excitement. It is there, that's all. For first few days, you sit in the car, you never get down. The whole day you are running around, you are sitting there, doing everything. But after a few days, you see, the excitement is lost. You feel you work too much for simple thing. So many incidences you can see in your life. Before achieving, even mustard seed looks like a mountain. Once you achieve it, even mountain looks like a mustard seed. Mind is such, it shows even a mustard seed as a mountain before achieving it. But once you achieve it, even mountain looks like a mustard seed. The persons, the relationships, the things, the comforts, everything before achieving looks like a mountain. Before achieving, you feel without that life will not move. Especially when you see the advertisement in the Sky Mall magazines. You feel your life will not move without those objects. You feel they are very important, basic necessity for your life. I read a small story. One guy wanted to sell his house. Went to the real estate person and asked him to sell his house. After a week, again he ran to the real estate person and told, no, I don't want to sell my house. Please leave it. Drop that idea. I don't want to sell my house. The real estate man was surprised. Just 1 week ago he came desperately asking to do something, somehow to sell the house. Why are you telling now, I don't want to sell the house? Why did you change your mind? The guy said, only after reading your advertisement about my house, I understood my house is the way exactly in which I wanted. I understood the importance of my house. Only then I understood it is there exactly as I wanted. When you read the advertisements, you feel as if without that things, life will not go. Without that object, life will not move. When you read a Sky Mall magazine, you feel each and every object is basic necessity for your life. But when you get it, when it is there around you, you take things for granted. You can see in your house how many shoes lying down without even being polished. How many things lying down without even being attended. All these things shows before you wanted, you had a different personality. Once you have got it, you are a different personality. When your identity changes, your wants changes, your taste changes, your things changes. So before achieving, you have a different kind of mental setup. After getting it, you have a different kind of mental setup. Till you know who you are, the question what you want cannot be answered. Till the question what you want is not answered, whatever you achieve will be just again and again and again. Will take you in the same rut, same routine, but you will not feel, you will not bend, you will not find the solution. You will achieve the outer comforts, but not the inner satisfaction. Because you do not know whether you really wanted that comfort or not. First of all, you must have some clarity. Who am I? Then what I want. Then if you work for what you want, even in the social level, if it is a failure, you will not bother. You will have the deep satisfaction. Really, you achieved what you wanted. But if your whole life moves without even knowing what you want, at the end, it is sure you will find you have missed something. Albert Einstein writes in his one of the last letters, or the letters which is written by him, the last phase of his life. He writes in a very depressed way that he missed some part of his life. He missed some portion of his life. He has not lived as he wanted. After reading one of his letter, one of his junior scientists goes to him and questions him. I read your letter, which you have written, the depressed mood. What do you feel about the life? If God gives you one more birth, how you want to live? Why do you feel depressed? Einstein said, if God gives me one more birth, better I will be a plumber than the scientist. The disciple was not able to understand. Why do you say so? Being a scientist, you achieved the money, name and fame, social status, the comforts, everything. You achieved everything. Why you don't want to be in this post? Why do you want to become a plumber? Einstein says, in the young age, I wanted to become a plumber, but somehow I have taken this line, comparing with other people, comparing with other scientists. I started running. My life itself has become just like a rat race. Now I know I won the race. One beautiful saying. One big difficulty in the rat race is, even if you win, you are a rat. Nothing more than that. He says, now I know I won the rat race, but I feel I have lost my life. He says beautifully, the greatest truth of this century, the last century, greatest truth of the last century is discovered by him. He is the guy who discovered the atomic theory. theory of relativity, E equal to mc square, based on which the atom bombs are done and atomic effects are done. He says the greatest truth of this century is discovered by me, but my life has become a big lie. My life itself has become a big lie. When you do not know what you want, when you do not have the courage to go behind what you want, whatever you may achieve, at the end you will only see the deep depression of success. There are two kinds of depression. One is depression of failure. That is not so bad as you think. Depression of failure is not so bad because you will have hope to stand up and try again. There's a second kind of depression, depression of success. In that you will not even have a hope. Depression which comes because of success. By 40 to 50, you would have achieved whatever you want, the money you want, the post you want, the name you want, the status you want, the family you want, the relationships you want, but you would have missed what for you wanted all these things. You would have achieved all the means, but you would have missed the goal. What for you wanted all these things? For joy, for bliss. You would have achieved all the means, but you would have missed the goal, which is bliss. So when you face the success of depression, that's the worst depression, because when you face the success of depression, even the hope will not be there to stand up and try again. When you face the depression of failure, you will have at least hope. Yes, if I achieve success, I may not have depression. But when you face success of depression, it is much worse than depression of failure. It just shows the whole life you have lived based on a wrong philosophy. You have built castles in air. Realizing or understanding that your whole life is castles in air is too much. I always tell the people, asking the question, who am I? People come and ask me, Swamiji, you tell us to ask who am I, and you tell us to meditate. Will it bring what we want? Will it get what we want? I tell them, meditation may not make your dreams reality, but it will make you understand the reality is your dream. Two things. Making your dreams as a reality is one thing. Understanding the reality is nothing but your dream is the other thing. Making your dreams into reality, you need Shakti, energy. Understanding the reality is your dream, you need Buddhi. Meditation can give you the deep Buddhi which you need to live your life. The question, who am I, can show you really what you want. What's your life? The basic questions are the ultimate questions. In the life, there is nothing more to be learned except the basic things. If you learn the basic things clearly, that is more than enough. This one question, who am I? Who am I? And who is moving in this body is more than enough to start your life, to move in your life, and to end in your life. To start, to move, to end. To create your life, to sustain your life, to transform your life. In all these three phases, this one question is more than enough to show you the path, to show you the guidance. Ramana Maharshi says in that small booklet, very beautiful booklet, who am I? I have read thousands of books, but this is the smallest book and this is the greatest book. I do not know. Always the great things are very small. Very few pages. It is not. It cannot be even called as a book. It is just a booklet, few page of booklet. But this few page contains the whole wisdom of humanity. Because what for we want books? Books are just to open your inner intelligence. Vivekananda says beautifully, till your inner intelligence is not awakened, no book is going to help you. Once the inner intelligence is awakened, no book is necessary. Till the inner intelligence is awakened, no book is going to help you. Once the inner intelligence is awakened, no book is necessary. Books are just to awaken your inner intelligence, awaken the Antaryami, who is your master, awaken the energy which is within you. This book, according to me, is a bookless book which can directly lead you to feel the Antaryami, which can directly open your inner book. In that he says few words. First, when you start with this question, the ultimate question, who am I? You will start feeling that you are not this body. Because if you are this body, you cannot separately see this. If you are able to see, that itself shows you are person who sees. You are the person who sees, not the seen. You are not the person who is observed. You are the person who is observing. The moment you realize you are seeing it, you understand you are not the body. The next, if you witness your thoughts, you can see your mind in a depressed mood or in a high mood. You can experience your mind objectively. The objective experience of your mind shows you are not the mind. Objective experience of your emotions, the joy or the bliss or the pain, shows you are neither emotion. You are neither body nor intellect or emotion. If you search deeply, the pure awareness, which we call Brahman, which we call God, which we call Atman, whatever names you may give, we can give 1000 names. Devotees of Shiva, they say Shiva. Devotees of Vishnu, they say Vishnu. The very word Vishnu means which fills, which penetrates the whole Jagat. Shiva means which is auspiciousness, or the base energy of the whole universe. Somebody says Shiva, somebody says Vishnu, somebody says God, somebody says Brahman, whatever you may call it, the pure awareness which happens in you is what is the ultimate result. Where your questions end, there your being starts. Bhagavan says beautifully. Somebody asks, how long the question, who am I, should be asked? He says, till the question dies, ask that. There is a space, there will be a place when you will neither have answer nor have a question. You will see the very questioning mind will dissolve and disappear into the energy, into the pure awareness.